EA Sports is proud to present today's PGA Tour coverage. Always a pleasure to be along the coast of Maine, Lighthouse Point to be exact. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. Frank, this is sure to be another exciting day of golf out there. What are the challenges facing our players today?
The length of the golf course for a start, Rich. This golf course just under 7,700 yards. So it's one of the longest ones you'll play. And of course the cliffs, that's why it's called this, they certainly are in play. There is one double green out there, that's the 10th and the 13th hole, they share the same green. Lots of great design features, and you've got it on a prime day in great condition. And make sure you feast on the vistas as well. Oh, beautiful swing, and the result is every bit as good.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. Second shot. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Frank had hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. That is a green in regulation as the approach shot hits the first green, but he is by no means in for par yet. A lengthy putt coming up. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. He'll need to be strong with this. He wins the hole. No way! He holed it, Frank.
Great pitch shot.
Now at the second hole here at Lighthouse, it's a par 3, 234 yards. Difficult hole, Frank, especially when the wind picks up.
It is, and you can see with that bunker on the right side, that's obviously the bailout area because the problem side is to the left of this green. That's where the cliff starts to run all the way down to the ocean. This is a very difficult par 3, not just because of its length, because it's exposed to all of Maine's elements.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Didn't hit it in there tight, but still with a good chance.
Yeah, if that's his worst shot at the end of the day, then I still think he's played well.
These putts keep the round together. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. And that gives him the hole. He's made it Frank, I like the mix of holes as we start out here at Lighthouse Point. Tough par 4, then a par 3, and now a scoring opportunity with a par 5 at the third.
Scoring opportunity with a good drive. Very thin fairway here, Rich. This hole is built for accuracy, and players off the tee, they're going to have to try and hit this fairway. Long fairway bunker runs almost the entire length of this hole, and it could act actually as a little helper, stop you going down by the cliff, because anything left, obviously, on that cliff line will go all the way down to the ocean.
Moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse. You wouldn't call that a miss-hit, but it wasn't his best. That one just sort of drifted right and a long ways from the flagstick. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Frank, he might like this one. He might like... Oh, he's going to love it, Frank. Get in the hole.
Can you believe that?
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Good putt redeems all.
Fourth hole is 411 yards, par 4. And Frank, this is the kind of hole where you want to pull out the cell phone and take a few pictures. The views are absolutely stunning.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Just a little offline, so now, Frank, he's going to have to deal with a rough.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong he is.
Slight waggle, relaxed arms, ready to go. That is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
The lie pretty much dictated the result. Thick rough, tough to get that all the way to the green.
Trying to muscle it out of there, but you had to be Schwarzenegger to get that one done. If he makes it, he wins the hole. He wins the hole. And it drops for birdie. Now at the fifth hole, it's a par 4. Frank, what are we in store for?
Well, it's very easy to get lulled into a false sense of security here, Rich. No fairway bunkers, you sort of think you would blaze away. But really, you've got to find the fairway here. Very small green and well protected by that bunker short and right of this green. So if you miss the fairway, this hole becomes very difficult indeed quite quickly. Oh, I like that.
Pretty good drive here.
Another straight one. This ball never even looked like it was going down the fairway, heading way right.
He pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You'll need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
And this attempt will be from about 130 yards.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Second shot. Good look at the green.
There's a bunker over there.
I think he's headed for it. Well, a bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker play's like.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. Allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
Should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. This won't hurt him, Frank.
Just a little left of the flag. That's fine.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Well, that's how you keep a round going. Make putts just like that. He has this putt for birdie. Well, thank you at last. A birdie. That was a long time coming, Frank.
Yeah, finally he strung some shots together. Now, if all of a sudden he can do the same on the next hole, he might just get a run going.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in one.
Rich, there's rough and rough. That ball is needle nose down.
Can't even see it from here. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. this putt. And that gives him the hole. Count that for eagle. Another par 3. We're at the 8th. It's only 165 yards, Frank. Yeah, about 145 yards left here. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Now my yardage book says 145 yards to the hole. Frank, this really is kind of a good lesson. You and I had said earlier that it looked gloomy, but you dig in, you keep fighting, and something good happens.
You have to credit his composure.
Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie. Oh, this is a huge putt. It's in.
Not a problem from there. Right in the middle. Now to the par 5 ninth. Frank, what are we looking at here?
Well, for the longer hitters, it's actually a chance to reach a par 5 and 2. 300 yards is where that fairway starts to bend more to the left. So if you do the maths, it's going to give you roughly 250 yards to the middle sort of front left of that green. That's the easy way to play the hole. Make a mistake off the tee and you might find out this is a more difficult three-shotter than what you were anticipating.
A great way to start a hole, nicely placed in the fairway. That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Frankie's cranking it and banking it. Giant drives, a boatload of birdies. What a round.
Yeah, these are the days you just dream for. We know golf's not that easy, but on a day like today, savor it and just keep going. Keep doing it.
That one ends up in the rough.
Oh, that went sideways. Well, with a good shot here, Rich, I'll tell you, this eagle on the cards, hole very reachable from where he is.
Don't get many opportunities like this. This is a good place to take advantage. Frank, I think that's going to the bunker.
Looks like it.
Oh, a bit unfortunate. Wasn't able to avoid the sand trap. Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. Chance to close out the front side here with a birdie. Frank, there's nothing like catching a bunker shot just perfectly. Splashes out, lands softly, and just runs up to that hole.
Yeah, it's like 3D. There's the component in the strike where it's going to land, and then the third part of it is how much will it roll.
Getting set now over the putt. And at last, he has made a birdie.
And what can he do from here, though? Is that the start of something? It looks like it is.
Mark a birdie on the card. So 9 holes down here at the Cliffs at Lighthouse Point. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Checking out this 10th hole, Frank. Is this a typo? 592 yards. But it's a par 4, not a par 5. What gives?
The reason why that tee shot, severe elevation, so we can at least sort of chew 30 or 40 yards off that number. But I'm not saying this hole's short, that's for sure. So that bunker just at the start of the field on the left certainly comes into play. The other feature, or interesting feature here at 10, is the shared green. This green shares that little piece of property with 13, just divided by that little pot bunker in the middle. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. That'll be 90 yards. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Might want to check the GPS on a putt this long. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
If he makes it, he wins the hole. That was not a very good read right there. So just a formality here. Did the job right there. He has this attempt for par. He's made it. Now we go to the 11th hole, and this is a par 5, but it's actually shorter than the par 4 10th. This one comes in at 530 yards, and more evidence of the kind of creativity by the award-winning design team of Patel and Duncan.
Well, that's right. Patel really is known to be the shaper. He's the one that makes all those interesting shapes of the bunkers. For example, here, nipping it in the fairway, making driver almost too much club or very, very risky, plus the front bunker there. Now, this is a great par 5. The reason why, it's reachable, it's tempting, but you don't know what you're going to finish up shooting on it.
That one is bunker bound, it looks like. Well, he'd like to have that one back in the bunker.
Still a chance to get it up and down.
Not quite what he wanted. Tee shot is in the bunker. Anything you do differently with your setup?
Just dig my feet into the sand a little bit more, but make sure you focus on the exact spot on the ball you want to hit.
So Frank out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
If he makes it, he wins the hole. He wins the hole. Yeah, an eagle. What a putt. Back here now at the 12th hole, par 4, 439 yards, Frank, to the center of this green off the black tees.
And if the breeze blows left to right, this hole plays very hard. One of the reasons why, just through the fairways littered with bunkers. So not only do you have to pick the right line, but somehow you've got to get that ball the right distance as that hole bends completely to the left. Rather interesting shaped green here at 12.
This is a stiff test, no doubt. Second shot. Good look at the green. this could be good. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
115 to the hole. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Well, that's why on this golf course, Frank, there is a premium on hitting fairways.
You're exactly right. Might be also protecting against a fly, but that did anything other than fly.
It's in the hole. Just a sensational shot right there. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. And that gives him the hole. And no problems there.
Yeah, keeps the round going, keeps the momentum on his side.
Now to the 13th hole, and Frank, this could make you quake in your soft spikes. 702 yards, par 5. It might be a par 6 or a 7.
Well, I think a few people will make 6 or 7 here. You're right. This is a rarity in golf, 700 yards. So forget about any thought of even getting close to this par 5 and 2. Plus, just to add insult to injury, the 2 bunkers off the tee are perfectly placed. They're about 298 yards, smack bang in the middle of that. I doubt you can get past those, but you need a good drive, really, to try and leave yourself a short third shot.
Couldn't ask for too much better here. Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, you played the game at the highest level. You know it doesn't always go your way. So what kind of advice do you give the player who's having a rough go of it?
I used to have a little notepad that I remembered, and on it was stop, take a deep breath, make a decision, and now go with it. Just re-rack.
Did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster. Instead, I see a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here. He wins the hole. Bang. It really has been a tough day, Frank, hasn't it?
Golf, such an up and down game, and a few good holes might just turn this around. You never know. And some of the leaders could slip. You've got to think that way as well. And if that happens, it might just leave that door open.
Coverage coming your way is presented by EA Sports and the PGA Tour. Welcome to the home of one of the most terrifying holes in all of golf, the 18th, set atop Devil's Cauldron Volcano. I'm Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. We're here today in the South Pacific Ocean. This course has it all: cliff shots, shortcuts, a skull-shaped green, and of course, the volcano. Frank, what do you make of this most unusual layout?
Rich, it's not for the faint-hearted. You'll see Buccaneers Bay out there, well, to be avoided, like a lot of the traps out there. Anybody with a cutlass or, flying the wrong flag, stay away from them as well. But there's green fairways. There's a little green on the end with the right place to go. Find that, that's your treasure.
That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. From a perfect position, ready to play his next shot. Frank, you think about the great rivalries in sports, the Yankees and the Red Sox, Ollie and Frazier, and in golf, Nicklaus and Palmer. Great athletes, great teams pushing one another to great heights.
It's amazing how that's gone forward too, because Nicklaus and Palmer really became Nicklaus and Watson. Then there was like Norman Faldo, but some would say that Faldo Ballesteros, 6 majors to 5, was even more important. But in this era that we're in now, I think we're all praying for that Woods-McIlroy rivalry. Woods with 14 majors, McIlroy already with 4. That really is one to salivate over.
Third shot, looking for a good one. That looked like a miss hit, Frank.
The lie was okay. It's a little surprising. Maybe wrong club.
And setting up here in the rough.
That's a tough lie to come out of. Not surprising it's come up short.
Well short right there, but still in the game for a par. He can win the hole on this putt. Well, this one's tracking, and that gives him the hole. This one has a chance, and he has it. Beautiful putt. Frank, you've seen golf holes around the world. What do you think of the par 3 second here at Treasure Island?
Fun hole, really, Rich. Small green just up there on that ledge, and really, you have to pick the right weapon off this tee.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
I mean, really on top of his game right now. That was a splendid approach shot. And it looks like it's in the rough there, Frank.
It might not be as bad as it looks.
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. And he's putting for par now. Well, Frank, it's our job to get excited.
You can't when you leave it short, though.
I'm sad.
He's making my job hard.
He wins the hole. And in for birdie. Frank, this is not an easy tee shot. Trying to thread it between those two giant trees.
Third hole, Captain Hook. Par 5. Really just keep it down that left side, very, very close to the coastline. Good tee shot. You might be able to get home for 2. But rather than hook your second, you're going to have to slice it.
Frank, look at that tree in the distance. Looks like the face of a man carved out of it. I'm just seeing things right now. I'm spooked by this golf course. Well, this one has a chance to be really good. Nice position, short grass, second shot. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Ready for his third shot. Needs to hit this close. That's good stuff right there. Wonderful approach, and now a really good look at birdie. Well, downhill, Frank. Want to play the ball, what, a little further back in the stance, take a club less? Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one. Rich, I thought he could get this close.
That just is amazing. Just a mind blower right there. Absolutely incredible. He made the shot. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He is just so explosive. Well, here at the fourth, the tee shot, Frank, requires a player to be extremely accurate. I mean, they do not give you a wide space to land that golf ball.
Plus, that fairway is anything other than straight. It's more serpent-like. So you've got to know exactly how far you hit your drive at it so you can decide which part of that fairway to land it on. Wonderful backdrop in the distance, though. There's Devil's Cauldron, the volcano in the distance.
That is some sight. Nice long tee shot there and a good lie, Frank.
Oh, that's off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
He'll need to be strong with this. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
Well, that's how you play the game right there. Knock it on the green and give yourself a good look at birdie.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
If he makes it, he wins the hole. Come on, don't do that.
Cruel lip out.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Trying to get out of here without too many bumps and bruises. This one is for bogey. And he makes it for a bogey here. If he makes it, he wins the hole. And that gives him the hole. Did the job right there. Well, this hole, Frank, is quite a design. Not a long hole, but there's trouble.
There certainly is, but I would say this is a birdie hole for most. Short par 4. Good tee shot's just going to leave you a little pitch in there. A lot of little features along the way, but really just keep it between the skull on the right and the mountain on the left.
See, but that could be distracting, the skull rock formation on the right.
Well, just don't skull your tee shot.
And that one rolls just into the rough.
Now you have to decide whether or not that ball's going to fly or not.
Frank, that ball's sitting up like it's on plush carpeting.
Rich, if you and I had lies like that every time, we'd still be playing this game for a living. Remember, out of the rough. Expect the ball to jump forward a little bit.
Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
So, third shot now for Rory McIlroy. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. And drops it in. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. He wins the hole. Frank, hopefully top of your game and top of the world from this point at the 6th.
Huge elevation here, Rich, so obviously that tee shot is going to go that much further off the elevation, and that's really the goal. Tee it high, let it fly a little, keep it left of the needle top mountain on that left side, and really you won't have much left on this fairly short par 4.
Frank, they threw him a life vest. He's back on dry land.
And I hope this time he swings, he doesn't have the water wings on.
Third shot now, after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for.
Too bad, Frank. That one rolled right off the green.
It was just coming out so hot.
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here. Yeah, that's a good putt right there. From that distance, he'll settle. And setting up here in the rough. Just a bit offline and into the bunker. Set from the bunker. This is fifth shot.
Just a short bunker shot. So open your feet up, open the club face up, little splash out.
Now that is a shot that will be replayed over and over. He can win the hole on this putt. And that gives him the hole. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, to get home in two on this par 5, the 7th, you'd need more than a great shot on your second. You'd need like a cannon shot, wouldn't you?
You'd need a cannon off the tee and a cannon for your second. Also, playing down the left side, you're going to make that 600-plus yards play that much longer. Really, the goal here is still make sure you get on the fairway, because this is a difficult fairway to hit, because it steeps down over several different levels, plus it's hardly flat.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Well, that ball nestled down just a bit in that heavy rough. It's a 180-yard shot, his second.
Are you for real? It was terrible. Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. 170 yards still to go. Frank, this is the most unusual finish I have ever seen on any golf course anywhere in the world.
You're absolutely right. I can't remember any golf course where you finish by a volcano. It's too dangerous.
Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. Actually, a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one. That's a bit offline in the rough. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Oh, just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Just a couple of feet. He wins the hole. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Eighth hole's a par 3, Frank, with a most unusual green.
I'm really cross at this hole, Rich. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Just an excellent shot right there. About 5 feet away. Good chance.
This is way left going left.
And that one's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here. That's how the best in the world play it, Frank.
Well, I'd say a little lucky that it went in, but it was always going to be close.
Straightaway now here on the par 4 ninth as we round out the front side, Frank.
Two masts in the distance. They're actually from the old pirate ship. That mast on the left side of the fairway. Mast on the right is the right side of the fairway. So you've got a little advantage there.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon. Oh, that's fine. Oh, that's it. New member of the 300-yard club.
Good poke right there. We were talking about it earlier in the day that this could be something really good. Man, the wheels have come off.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like that they're going to be put back on either. Should be safely on deck.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Good putt. So a tester from 4 feet. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He is just so explosive. Now at the 10th, par 4, and just your typical pirate ship start.
Well, if you're any good, you won't use the tee peg, Rich. You'll just tee it off the deck and hit it down that left side. Lengthy par 4, that's for sure. One of those ones that's 500 and more down there, and change, or should we say gold bullion. But there's plenty of treasure on this back nine.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Getting set for another approach. Our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
What was he thinking there?
I have no earthly idea.
Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
And that gives him the hole. Ooh, what a shot right there. Beautifully done. Moving on to the 11th, it's a par 5 right in the middle of Buccaneer Bay. And Frank, this is an ingenious design.
You got to keep both hands on the wheel here, Rich, because there's so many choices involved. Really 5 fairways to hit at. And then there's a landing area in the distance if you can't reach this par 5 and 2. Obviously, the further right you go, the shorter the hole gets. But look how much smaller the fairway gets.
Officials calling that one around 310 yards.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Unfortunately, that ball is wet. Now on to his 3rd shot after the last one went into the water.
Well, from in trouble, Rich, at least he's back in play.
On the fairway from the rough. This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards.
Headed for the bunker? Not what he wanted, but he's headed to the beach. Every once in a while, you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here. That had to really hurt Frank because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
And he makes it for a bogey here. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. He wins the hole. He takes care of business there.
Solid stroke.
Frank, here at the 12th, again, you need to make a trip across a couple islands.
Well, that's the thing with Buccaneers Bay. All those choices to be made. There's 5 places, really, to find dry ground. The first 3 for the mere mortals. But if you really want to power up on your EA Sports game, look at the 2 in the distance. You hit something special, you just might find land. Hazard?
Maybe wet. Frank, you've just hit one in the water. You don't want to compound the mistake. What's the mindset here?
This one right here, you've got to forget that big blue oasis in front of you.
So hit the previous shot in the water, took a drop. This now the 3rd shot. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that 2nd shot.
But still not done. A good 3rd shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Well, he'll be disappointed with that, no doubt.
Yeah, swing didn't quite look right on that one.
Right at about 125 yards to where the hole is cut. My goodness, I was looking over there toward the green, and I'm having to find it over here.
Well, I mean, it was hit solid, but this is not even close.
Oh, man, not a good shot at all.
It was wicked.
Extra stroke at it after going into the water. This is the 6th shot after that previous shot went into the water. He can win the hole on this putt. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. He's made it. Frank, this is an amazing hole. The par 5 13th. First chance eventually to get to Volcano Island, but also a chance to make a huge number here. So much trouble.
Well, you can see why, too. There's trouble all over the place here, Rich. Fairway really is down the right side. And then it depends on how far you hit that tee shot. For multiple of choices with the second, do you go all the way down there? Do you even try and reach the par 5 and 2? Or do you skip across to the other side on the left? And then faced with a lengthy third shot. All those decisions abound on this par 5, just under 600 yards.
Right in the heart of the fairway, green light special. Frank, what's so compelling about rivalries in sports is that athletes need each other if they're going to go to great heights. Joe Frazier needed Muhammad Ali to solidify his legend. Jack Nicklaus probably needed Arnold Palmer to go to a place that he had not been. And I think that's true across the board as we look at rivalries in sports.
I think it defines careers, Rich. It's not until those players retire that they realized how important it was to have that foe. You know, so often we're living in the present like we are now with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. And it's not for years to come that we'll realize the sport wouldn't have been the same with one without the other.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
That's as bad a shot as I've seen for a long while.
Routine stuff for Rory, that's a par. That is a solid par putt right there. Frank, here we go at the 14th, right at the base of Devil's Cauldron.
Yeah, things are starting to heat up here at this par 4 that bends to the right. Sliver of fairway, that's to be gone at. And then the green just tucked around the side. So blind with the tee shot, but a good tee shot shouldn't leave too much of a problem with that second shot. And really a good chance for birdie.
That is a good tee shot too. Molten lava. That one was hot right off the club face.
Oh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So Frankie is leaning, and it appears as though this one's headed a bit right.
Yeah, just came out of it.
Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
No, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. There are a number of really good and important grow the game initiatives out there. One of those is the First Tee program, and that allows youngsters who otherwise might not have an opportunity, the chance to put a golf club in their hands, allows them the chance to pick up this game and learn some of the core values that come along with it. It's about much more than making a score. It's about integrity. It is about responsibility, values like that. And this game is so good in instilling those kind of characteristics in young people. If he makes it, he wins the hole. Wrong time to be leaking oil here at the 14th hole, Frank.
Well, to state the obvious, too, that was very makeable. That's the one you'd expect to make more often than not. That's going to hurt.
Well done. Did the job right there. Frank, this is where you begin to see almost this ingenious, evil nature of this design by the Pirates here at Treasure Island. It gets punishing to the finish.
It certainly does, Rich. This is also where we start our ascent to the summit of Devil's Cauldron with just a little tempting par 3. Just goes across. It has to be flighted well across the ravine, but it's got to be up, it better be high, and it better be long enough.
The grind is about to begin here at the par 3 15th. Each hole from here on out climbing up to the top of the volcano. Good swing, good shot yet again. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Perfect roll right there.
Anything other than a rookie. Great stroke.
So they'll tap in. In for birdie. 16th hole at Treasure Island. Pure danger, Frank, off that left side while continuing the climb.
And it's aptly named Devil's Elbow, but be careful because right at the corner of the elbow, now there's no funny bone. Have to be short or long of that, otherwise you're going to go all the way down to the bottom.
Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway. Whoops, Rich, this is way offline.
Oh, yeah. Get down.
Yeah, that's a little over-ambitious.
Ball has nestled down in that second cut, 160 yards away.
Off the flight path again.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here.
That's a disappointment right there, Frank.
Yeah, green light special, really. Come up considerably short.
Well, Frank, as we know, golf is not played generally on a flat surface, and here we go, uphill.
Yeah, and the uphill lie is going to guarantee you more loft than normal. So you're going to have to counteract that with maybe an extra club.
He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. Par for McIlroy, but you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away. Frank, this is kind of like walking the plank here at the 17th hole. Zero margin for error.
Yeah, the hole bends to the left a little bit like a boomerang. But just to find the fairway takes something with nerve, precision, and a lot of guts. From there, it shouldn't be a difficult second shot. But like I said, find the fairway. You need nerve.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag.
There's out of bounds over there.
He needs to get lucky. Well, how about that? The ball stayed inbounds after all, Frank.
Yeah, that was a real head scratcher. A couple more yards and, well, would have paid a severe penalty.
Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second.
Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Birdie try up next. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. This is a 9-footer. Oh, I thought he had that. Made a good run at birdie. He'll have to focus now. Try to walk away with the par. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. And that gives him the hole. And he has it for birdie. Well, that about wraps it up for us here today. I'd like to thank my partner, Frank Nobilo. Really enjoyed it, Frank.
Yeah, it's been a good day out here. Once again, we've seen the golf course give more than it takes.
For Frank Nobilo, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Hello again and welcome. Rich Lerner alongside my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo calling all the action for EA Sports. We're at Quail Hollow in Charlotte, North Carolina. And Frank, what makes this such a good test?
It's got a great flow to it, Rich. Holes that bend in both directions, changes of elevation, the phenomenal finish that's named the Green Mile, which is 16, 17, and 18, some reachable par fives. Players have gone low here as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities. It's just a great blend, Rick.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Oh, look out, Frank. Where's this one headed?
This is definitely rough, Rich, off the tee.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par.
Frank, what's the player looking at here on the approach at the first?
Just a short iron. We really want to check which side of the mound that the flag is today. You do not want to be pitching your approach shot on the side of that mound.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. That is a solid par putt. He can win the hole on this putt. He wins the hole.
And a great start.
Teeing it up here at the second hole, Frank, it's a short par 3.
Yeah, it plays a little bit downhill, about half a club, Rich. There's a sort of shallow bunker in that back area, and also that green starts to reduce in size on the left side. Good par 3.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
This won't hurt him. He can really get red hot with a putter. Let's see what McIlroy does. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
See if he's up to the task. Trying to win the hole here. And that gives him the hole. That's the idea. Just knock it in. Moving on to the third hole now. It's a par 4, 452 yards.
Big sweeping dogleg left, and the fairway actually goes in the opposite direction of the dogleg. Must hit a good tee shot for two reasons. One, to find the fairway, and also the length of this hole, over 450 yards.
He moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
So the golf ball ends up in that first cut. It's a little bit less than 2 inches. You can see the golf ball. Should be able to get at it, but may not be able to control the spin. We'll see. I'm thinking about 90 yards from here. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Getting set now over the putt. Just singes the edge, Frank.
Yeah, but at least he's burning the edges. You know you're hitting good putts.
If he makes it, he wins the hole. He wins the hole. Oh, yeah, he's made it for a birdie. Frank, this is a muscular par 4 here at just under 490 yards, the fourth at Quail Hollow. A difficult proposition.
It is, but fortunately that tee shot plays a little downhill. But one of the difficulties with the tee shot is the fairway kicks from right to left. So it needs a good one to keep it on the fairway, and another green that has 3 different levels.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Tugged that one a little bit offline to the left, and he'll pay a bit of a price because that rough is fairly thick. Into the tall cabbage, that ball is swallowed up. And setting up here in the rough. Down, little Sheba, down! So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
This is a good-looking shot. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Frank, how about that?
Well, can you believe that, too? I mean, could have hit the flag and bounced away instead, straight in. Amazing shot, and really deserves it.
Now to the first par 5 here at Quail Hollow, the 5th hole. It's 570 yards, and it would seem, Frank, that this tee shot sets up well for a guy like Rory McIlroy.
It does. Someone that hits it long and moves the ball right to left, and that's what you're going to have to do here. One of the main reasons for that is not necessarily the dog leg, but the fact that the fairway, Rich, slopes away from you. It slopes to the right and away. So that makes that tee shot so much more difficult.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank.
Gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut. That's not too bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. So in the first cut here, it could be worse. Headed for the bunker? Well, he'll have to get up and down from the bunker to save his par. That's a bit offline in the rough. Headed for the bunker, I think. Well, a bit unfortunate in the bunker, Frank.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what his bunker plays like.
Set to go. Not an easy shot by any means. In the greenside bunker here, Frank. Nice to go to the beach, but not too often, we hope. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Almost. Wow.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. And that gives him the hole. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Frank, this is where you know that players like Bubba Watson, Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy are playing a different game than guys like me. They step up to this 250-yard par 3 and they might hit 5-iron. It is a little downhill, but they might be with a middle iron where a lot of us would be with a driver.
Well, you see the advantage of that power on this very hole, not just because of the length they got to hit it, but the green they're heading into. This green slopes off in both directions, right and left, so you have to land that ball in the middle of the green. So, yeah, it's a big advantage if you can go at this hole with like a 5-iron.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Frankie has to be scratching his head as he reaches for a sand wedge or a gap wedge for his next shot.
Well, you know, the FedEx Cup, Rich. I mean, you're meant to get there by 10:30 tomorrow. That thing's still going.
And getting ready for the putt. Hard to be perfect in this game, and that's a bogey. If he makes it, he wins the hole. He wins the hole. Doing what needs to be done. You need to make him from that distance. Frank, there's a lot to chew on here as you get to the tee at the 532-yard par 5/7.
In today's game, 530 plus change you'd think is incredibly short. And look at the trouble in front of you. Water all the way down the right side and around that right side of the green. Bunkers left. This is not for the faint of heart.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Hazard.
Maybe wet. Nassau, we have a splashdown. So this will be the third shot after taking the drop with the ball going in the water. And into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
Now set for the second shot here at the par 5 7th hole. Well, this one should be safely on deck here. That is classy.
Well, a chance of going in.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. That was a pretty nasty lie out of the rough. He did the right thing there, Frank. Shouldn't be a problem here. Makes it right in the center. It's a pretty big putt right here to win the hole. And that gives him the hole. Frank, I love a drivable par 4. In the modern power game, it really adds an element of excitement. And here we go at the 350-yard par 4-8.
Well, you're definitely going to love this one then, Rich, because it ticks all the boxes here. There's no water in play, just a few bunkers down the left and the one that protects the right side of the green. And you've got a really narrow green, so plenty of reward with minimal risk.
Just an ideal lie, Frank. What can he do from here?
Well, if he takes advantage of the tee shot now and goes at this flag, then he'll certainly gain on the field.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
If you hit enough shots, every now and again, one's going to go in.
Crazy, crazy game.
Second shot.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Here we are at the 9th hole at Quail Hollow, 495-yard par 4. Frank, it is the longest par 4 on the golf course. Is it, in your estimation, the toughest?
I think the green stops it from being the toughest, Rich, because it does kick in from either side. But when you see holes like this, there's no surprise why the Rory McIlroys and the Ricky Fellas have won around here. This is just a great driving par 4.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. This will require a good strike of the golf ball. It's a pretty long shot into this par 4 ninth. Good looking shot right here. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Go ahead and do that for birdie. 10-foot putt left. Continuing to putt with confidence. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo for EA Sports. We are set at Quail Hollow for the backside, the 10th hole, Frank, 469 yards.
And a nice par 5 where a good drive means that you can reach this par 5 and 2. Just try and avoid that bunker down the left. Second shot's going to play a little downhill.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. Going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there. Ah, nice.
Looks good. Frank, that swing looks lively and strong.
Oh, that had to fly 300. It's close to 310.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank did the prudent thing there, didn't he?
Yeah, in the end, really, you could have turned that into a disaster instead. I see a good chance, really, to perhaps get away with par.
This could be a huge momentum swing here, Frank.
Yeah, one more good swing, and he's going to have an eagle putt coming up. I know you don't want to get ahead of yourself, but it is well on the cards. Off the flight path again.
Frankie's managed to hit it in the rough yet again.
Yeah, this is hard to imagine. You know, the fairways aren't that narrow today.
Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. Third shot, looking for a good one. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Back here at the par 4 11th at Quail Hollow, set to tee off. What's the right game plan here, Frank?
Oh, there's two really. That left bunker off the tee, it's about 265 yards to get it on the fairway, or 308 yards, 310 yards run out there. I've seen players just try and carry the bunker, sort of set up a short iron, and I've seen players like Rory McIlroy just try and blast a driver with a hook on it. Both strategies have worked.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Has 80 yards left. Frank, this is just a pleasure to watch. A player hitting on all cylinders at the top of his game.
Notice it's just flowing too. There's not a lot of deep analysis going through his mind. Just one step in front of the other. If your swing's there, you don't have to find it. If your putting stroke's there, you don't have to find it. Just let it happen.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Could it be?
More than a bonus on the scorecard, that.
Frank, he'll have to take a full swing at this putt for birdie.
This is long, but every now and again, one of these finds the bottom of the cup and makes that magic sound.
Par 4 12th here at Quail Hollow, 456 yards. Frank, break it down for us.
Well, there's no fairway bunkers either side, so you feel like there's nothing to work the ball off, and consequently it's very easy to sneak it in the rough on the left or the right, and then that makes that second shot so much more difficult going up the hill. This is one hole that you have to pick a line on. You really have to know your line off the tee. There's a nice big tree down there in the distance. That's the one you want to work it off. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Boy, this is a challenging second shot here to the par 4 12.
It's almost like two greens, Rich. That ridge that goes through the middle about the halfway point, 18 to 20 yards. Anything over that will kick on, and anything short of that runs back to the front. This looks like it's going to find the target.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. Count that for a birdie. He has this for birdie. That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Now the par 3 13th hole. Frank, this one 210 yards.
Very, very good par 3. This is actually a big green. It's 37 yards deep, but it actually plays small. There's a front right portion, there's a roll-off area in the middle, and there's a roll-off area in the back. So don't be deceived by the size of this green. You better be pitching that tee shot right bang in the middle.
Frank missed the green off the tee.
Yeah, but this is certainly a tricky little shot coming up here at the par 3.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths.
It's that sneaky distance.
He got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
If he makes it, he wins the hole. He wins the hole.
Well, that was a tricky one, but it's in.
Well, now we come to the really interesting 345-yard par 4 14th. Frank, I'm thinking that if you're leading, you're probably not going to try to drive this and take on the risk with the water on the left. But if you're behind, you have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, I have it written in my yardage book, Rich, on this hole. Only good and bad things happen with the driver. Nothing in between. Well, the way that came out, really lucky to be on the fringe.
He'll still have a good chance to come out of here with a decent score. Not looking good, Frank.
I think it's wet.
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Well, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for. Well, that was almost like that's what he wanted to do, but why would you want it to run over the back?
Frank, a little chip shot here from the fringe. Now, a lot of options. I've seen some players hit 6-iron, others will shut down like a sand wedge.
Yeah, there's two schools of thought. Some people just try and perfect like one club, but really the best chippers chip with a variety of clubs.
That's an outstanding shot right there, and it sets up a really good look at birdie. So in the first cut here, it could be worse. Locked in on the read and the speed. One more turn of the golf ball.
Hubert Green once said 99% of putts that come up short don't go in.
And that gives him the hole. Chalk that up as a birdie for the scorecard. Now as we arrive at the par 5 15th hole here at Quail Hollow, 577 yards. Frank, I think a player has to be thinking about doing what Rory McIlroy did in 2010.
It's the last of the holes that you can really be aggressive on, Rich. So a good drive down here. I'm well aware of the fact that there's water on the left. This is a good chance to make something happen before you play the green mile.
And that's what McIlroy did. hit a tracer, then a 5-iron, knocked it in for eagle, shot 62, and won for the first time on the PGA Tour.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. They'll pay a little bit of a price for missing the fairway here, because from that rough, you cannot control the spin on the golf ball. Well, let's see what they can do with this shot from the second cut, 160 yards away. Not sure how this one will react coming out. That was a pretty nasty lie out of the rough. He did the right thing there, Frank. Frank, anything you do differently from the rough in terms of your swing? Do you hinge the club a little bit more quickly?
No, normally put the ball just a little bit further back in your stance, because you want the club to be going down. It's got to go down through the grass, through the ball.
Not enough on that one.
Yeah, it just seemed to baby it.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
We try up next. Good scoring opportunity. Third shot here at the par 5. Shouldn't be a problem here.
Comfortably knocks it in.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. He's made it. This is the start of what some say is the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour. It's known as the Green Mile. Frank, what makes it so challenging?
Well, this hole in particular, Rich, the dogleg right, it means it plays every inch of it's just over 500 yards. That bunker you can see down the right, 325 yards to carry that. If you can fly the ball that far, at least you can chew off 2/3 of this hole, and that is well required here. Otherwise, it's a long, long second shot.
In the thick stuff.
Thick? It's brutal out there.
And it is not looking like a good lie. Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Just too much juicy grass between the ball and the club face. It's always going to come up short out of that sort of light.
Not easy to control from that kind of a lie, is it, Frank?
Obviously, you could see in the back of his mind, don't go left. So it just depends how far right this is going to finish.
Well, certainly playable from here. Ball is in the first cut. Not too bad. He can win the hole on this putt. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it is going to hurt the cause.
That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Could use this, a putt for par. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game.